How exciting is this? USD student Ollie Tarvet made an impressive run at Wimbledon earlier this month. And look who's here to tell us all about the experience with his on-court coach, Alex Funkhouser. In love with your name, by the way. I'll do that in commercial break. Good morning to both of you, and welcome.
Thank
welcome.
You. No, I appreciate it.
You brought a towel as well.
Exactly. I just thought I'd bring a little memo for you guys.
You talk about a memory. How spectacular is this?
Yeah, I mean, it was really great. You know, it was something as a kid you always dreamed of. You know, especially me being from England. You know, as like a 9, 10-year-old kid, I would always go there every year, and it was just really special that my dream became reality, and I was able to play in maybe the most prestigious court in the world.
Yeah, it's not a maybe, it is. I think we all can agree it is. I have often wondered for those who work so hard for something and it's something you dream of, and when you're like there and you're on the court, do you have a moment, or did you, when you just kind of look up and you're just like, oh my gosh, this is really happening?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly tried to avoid that because I thought I would just, get overwhelmed by nerves. But yeah, it was definitely, it was a really cool experience, as I said, and I tried not to let the moment get even bigger than it already was. It was pretty something going on to center court, and there's obviously a lot of nerves associated with that. But yeah, I tried to just focus on playing tennis and just tried to, do as best as I could out there.
Okay, do we call you Coach Funk, or how do I address you? Coach Funk. Okay, I'm trying to relate this. When I did whatever I decided to compete in, there's a certain pressure that comes with it. Now, like as a mom, when I sit back and I watch my kids compete, I feel like it's harder being on the outside and watching, and much more stressful. Is that the life of a coach?
Yeah, it definitely can be, but what's important is really being comfortable in our own skin, and that was kind of the approach when we went over there, is making sure that comfort comes first, making sure that we stick to our routines, making sure that we're doing all the things necessary where we can feel comfortable on the court, going out and competing, and just taking care of our job that we're there to do and not worrying too much about the outside factors.
But then how do you, as a coach, because I'm sure there's a lot of nerves that come with, I mean, this is big time. How do you manage that then?
Honestly, again, it's just routines. Sticking to our plans, sticking to what makes us comfortable. Getting up early, taking care of our body. If we're confident in our body, we're usually comfortable on the court. So making sure we're doing that, and the mind always plays a big part in that too. If we're confident and comfortable, then the mind is usually at ease. So, like, do you hear his voice when he's not around? Is that usually like playing in your head?
Yeah, I do. Honestly, even like with 20,000 people watching me on center court, I kind of everything kind of drowned out, and I could just hear. Mainly Alex, and obviously my other two coaches there, Stuart. And
what would you hear?
Just him just firing me up, just giving me support. So it was kind of nice because I feel like it's kind of like when I would describe it is when you're like really locked in on something, everything else becomes a bit of a blur, and you can just focus on the tennis, and you focus on what Alex is saying as well, trying to help me get through it and play my best tennis. So yeah, it definitely, his voice definitely stuck out.
Yeah, you faced defending champion Carlos Alcaraz. What was that like for you?
Yeah, I mean, it was fun, but it also wasn't so fun at the same time.
Why not so fun?
I mean, he's just an incredible tennis player. He made me work, incredibly hard out there. I think, he's just an exceptional athlete, and it was just really great, being able to share the court with him and having the privilege of that, and just seeing that. Especially going into this tournament, I knew that I was good, but I didn't realize that, I was, good enough to qualify and then even win my first round and then have the opportunity to play Carlos. And it was just very motivating to know that, that I earned my spot in the, against maybe the best tennis player in the world right now.
Yeah.
And that I'm, not far off is where I thought I would be.
Do you still get uncomfortable when people talk about you and praise you? And
No, I mean, I enjoy it, obviously.
You do? Okay, great, coach. Let's enjoy it. How do you describe him?
I think when it comes to just being a really successful tennis player, he has every box that you want to check off. He has the day-to-day professionalism. He's also professionalized every aspect of his life to make sure his tennis benefits. And he has the open-mindedness, and he also just has a really important attention to detail that's going to, take him to the next level and have that success.
What is the next level for Ollie? What do you see in his future?
I mean, I definitely see him playing at the stage he was just at, and I definitely think he can push the needle even more forward to make deeper runs at that level.
Yeah. Would that make you uncomfortable?
No, I think...
just sit there. I would like blush if somebody's talking saying all these nice things about me. You would know. You're sitting... comfortable with it?
Yeah, I think as long as I keep on working, you know, I hope Alex is right.
You're right, right? Or not hoping?
Not all the time, not all the time, but you know.
Okay, so what's next for you? What happens now? Like, you have this towel, which you brought. I'm like, do you actually use it, or is it just a memory for you?
A little bit of a memory. I sometimes bring it onto the court with me, but I feel like I got to preserve that one as much as I can.
Yeah.
But yeah, just what next for me is that I just got to keep on working. You know, as great as it is, you know, me achieving this, I think the day doesn't come about without, you know, really working hard. So I've come back here to train with Alex and, you know, put in some really good hours on court and then, you know, just play some tournaments and hopefully I can continue my good level.
Well, I know you're originally from the other side of the world, but now you're here in San Diego, so we are very proud of you. Congratulations on all your success, and thank you for coming in and sharing your story. Can I just hold your towel for a minute?
Yeah, go
just
for it.
because I know it was there, and I just want to, maybe I get the magic. I get the magic, and I feel it over here. Thank you for being here.
Of course.